Somebody made this with their hands. Like, they literally thought this in their mind and they were like, this combo. And now I get to appreciate this. It's just like an art. It's just, I am staring at a masterpiece. I'm so glad I live in a world where this was created. Really. So, yeah. Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while, so go ahead and grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your fiber arts craft, and let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about a lot of different things. So I have like a finished whip. I have two actually. I have some yarn that I want to show you guys, and then I have a project I'm currently working on. So just a little bit of everything today. And I'm sorry if this is like a rough video to watch. I haven't recorded in a long time, and then I've had to record this video like 3 or 4 times because I don't feel like it's like, I feel like I'm like stumbling, or I feel like I'm not getting my point across. So yeah, we're gonna try. Hopefully this is the last time that I record, and that's it. Okay, so I have the Arctic Light sweater by Veronica Lindbergh, and it's done. I just haven't done like the collar yet, so it's supposed to be folded in. I just haven't done that. But other than that, it has been like blocked, and the ends have been weaved in. And this is a project that I am like happy with, but also unhappy with. And each time that I've recorded this video and have talked about this sweater, at the end of the video, I'm like, I'm gonna redo this entire sweater. So here's the thing. I knitted the sweater, and when I tried it on, the part where I was supposed to be done with the yoke and like separate for sleeves, when I tried it on, it just looked really tight and small. And so I ended up doing an extra set of cables, and that was a mistake because now I have this extra yarn underneath my arms, and it just looks, I just don't like the way it looks. And again, like every time I've recorded this video and have talked about it, in the beginning I was like, it's okay, it's fine. And then slowly I was like, no, it's not okay. Like, I'm gonna redo this entire sweater. So I'm gonna redo it, not anytime soon, but it is gonna be redone because I want the sweater to be something that I'm like, look at and I'm like, yes, I'm proud of this and I have no regrets. And right now I have regrets about it. So the pattern itself is very easy in the sense that because Veronica Lindbergh has YouTube tutorial videos on how to do each cable pattern, like how to do every single one of the details, she has a video on it. And so it's very, very simple and it's not that complex. What makes it complicated is just the fact that every single row there is something for you to do. And so it's not like this completely mindless thing. I think on Ravelry, there were a couple people that I saw that said that once they reached the body, then they were able to like not have to look at the pattern. That was not me at all. I definitely needed to look at the pattern the whole way through. So a couple things. Another like mistake that I made was, let's see if you can see it. Actually, I think I'll just put it on and then just show you. So this is what the sweater looks like. And like this, it looks okay. But then if I do this, then you see all of this like extraness. And it just, at first I was like, okay, whatever. But now it definitely 100% bothers me. So I'm gonna have to redo it. Like, there's no doubt about it. I have to redo it. But that's okay. Because I did actually enjoy knitting this. So the process of knitting it was great. And I do love the pattern. I think the pattern is just so unique and it's just so cute. Like every little thing about it is just adorable. So I did have the tension issues. I have like this issue. I also have, so if you look here, I'm gonna see if I can show. this side looks different than this side. And so it's the same on both, like it's symmetrical. It's the same mistake over and over again. And it's only because I didn't realize that I read the pattern wrong and the instructions wrong. And so one side of it, I did a knit through the back loop. And then the other side, I just knitted it normally. So at least that mistake is like symmetrical. So it's not necessarily very noticeable for others. And if this was the only mistake that I had, then I'd be fine. But it's just the fact that I have multiple mistakes. And like also the tension issue, like if I look up here, it's like really, really tight here. And then it just like loosens and gets wider. And I was talking to somebody about it and they told me that the next time that I noticed that, because I noticed it while I was knitting, I noticed that like I kept trying to tighten it and it just wasn't working. Like I felt like the stitches being loose. That the next time that happens, I could switch to wooden needles, because metal needles cause the stitches to be like looser, and they easily slide. And so I can switch to wooden needles, or I can just switch to size smaller needles, and that will help with that. So there's that. I also, like, there's so many mistakes, and the mistakes is not, again, it's not because of the pattern. It's literally just me while I was knitting it. I like was distracted. I was thinking about other stuff that was happening in my life, and so there was just a lot going on at the time that I was knitting this sweater. So it is what it is. I still enjoy knitting it, and the yarn is just so great. So the yarn is by Ruby Rose's Yarn, and I have it here. So like this is the worsted weight yarn in the color Cedar, and this is her Delicate Rose. So here are the two yarns. And it's so soft. Like I love it. And I love knitting with mohair. Like I love having 2 strands of yarn. I don't know why. Like I love this little fluff. Like I love it. So, and I feel so warm and I feel so nice. Like I know that I'm gonna enjoy the sweater so much more if I just fixed everything that I did wrong. And now that I know that I have the tension issues, I'll definitely pay attention more to that. And also, somebody, when I first mentioned this sweater and first talked about it, I talked about how like this stitches do not align. And so because of that, one section of this is looser than the other. And I think it's this side. Yeah, I think it's this side. And so like, because of the misalignment in the stitches, this stitch ends up, this side becomes looser in terms of tension. And I'm not the only one that has that problem, because it looks like that even on her pattern. And so like even in the picture that she has for her pattern. So what I'm gonna do, what somebody suggested, was to, after knitting the collar, knit 1 row of just all stockinette stitches. And that way the next row, when you start to do the cabling, every single row starts out, or every single stitch starts out with a previous stitch row. And so you don't have that problem. And that was such a genius thing that person said. I think they wrote it on my comments on YouTube, and I didn't see it until I was like already like way past. And so I was like, I'll just do it for the future. But now I'm definitely gonna do it, because I'm gonna redo the entire sweater. And I don't think that it'll take me that long. Like I know it took me a lot of like months to knit the sweater, but I don't think that it's a very difficult thing to knit. Like if I only knitted and didn't have to work, like I know that I could finish this a lot faster. And so it's not, I just didn't find it very like time consuming or complicated while I was knitting it. And so if you're worried, if you have this pattern on your Ravelry list, or your like wish list, or your to-do list, and you're like afraid that it's gonna be too complicated, it's really not. It's just intricate because there's always something for you to do, but the actual pattern itself, and because of the YouTube video, it just makes things 10 times easier. And yeah, so I have the numbers here. I used 1,441 yards of the delicate rose and 1,225 yards of the worsted weight yarn. So yeah, and I still have extra balls of yarn because I always buy extra in case, because I'm always afraid of running out of yarn. And yeah, so let me see what else I can say about the sweater. I did also make a mistake on the sleeves. I think I just didn't realize, like, I missed one of the cablings or something. So either way, so the size that I made was the extra small, but then I like extended this part, and so that's caused that issue. And I would say that even this extra small, I would say it's still pretty kind of like loose. So like even this part, like this is pretty, so I don't know, but I do think the sweater is really pretty. I love the yarn, and I like the length that I chose. Like I like having the sleeves like this length. So yeah, I wish there was a way that I could just like take out a chunk and then like put them back together, but I don't know if that's a thing, and if it is, it's very advanced and I would probably mess it up, and it's just probably way easier to just redo the whole thing. Especially because of all the like the tension issues and just like that stuff. So yeah, so I think what I'll do is I will knit this on wooden size needles, and I think doing that one row will really help with that tension. I think that will really fix a lot of that. And I will trust the process next time. I know you're probably gonna be like, well, if you had just done a gauge swatch, but no. So, if do the wooden needles, and then just also like trust the process in terms of like if it says to split for sleeves, then I'm just gonna split for sleeves, and I'm not gonna like worry about it. So I'm gonna take this off now because it's really hot. So other than that, I would say that I really love the pattern. I think Veronica Lindbergh did a wonderful job of explaining everything, especially with the YouTube videos. And I just think the pattern is just so cute. Like, I just love like everything. Like, I love the cable here. I love the little bobble in the middle. I love this little twist. I loved doing this stitch. I don't think I had ever done this type of cabling before. I love that this even has something, like there's just something with everything. Like even here, there's this cute little, I don't know what these are called. I should probably learn the name of all these things, but I don't know. I just loved it. I love it. I love it. Even this, like the sleeves, like everything about it. It just has such a cute design, and it just looks impressive. It just looks amazing. So, you know, yeah. And so I every time that I recorded this video and talked about this, each time I ended the video, I was like, I'm not happy with the sweater. I'm not happy with the sweater. And I think the best thing is to literally just redo it. And, you know, it's okay because I now know like the mistakes. So like if I had done this project, if I had not done that extra section, I would then be stuck in a way with a sweater that has all these other errors, but I won't redo it because I'm like, it's fine because no one's gonna really notice it. But the fact that it has that extra gap underneath the arms really, really bothers me. And so for the next one, I now know how to like fix all those other mistakes, and I now know to pay attention to the tension and how to fix that. And so I think the next time that I make this sweater, it's gonna be like absolute perfection, and that's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, okay. So that was this sweater. The next project that I finished was this Maven top, and this was actually my first blocked project. So I finished the Arctic Light sweater, and then I knitted this, and then I blocked this, and loved, like, now I know why people block their projects, because it definitely, like, it just makes things look better. And so then after that, I blocked this one. And the bagginess was, like, underneath the arms was already there before I even blocked it, so it just made it worse, but, you know, whatever. So this Maven top is I'm gonna put the name of the person that on the bottom. I don't remember her name. But this is yarn by Fuzzy Peach Fibers in the color Nostalgia. And I absolutely loved it. Like, this is such a great, like, look at how cute. Like, it's purple, it's got like green and like orange and pink, and I just love it. And the pattern was so simple. And so you're basically just like knitting like 4 or 5 rows, and then 1 row of purl, and then back and forth. And that's it. And it's very simple, and it was a lot faster than I thought that it would be, because I thought, well, the yarn is like sock yarn, I believe, or fingering weight yarn, and it's on like really small needles, but it was actually pretty fast, and I think it only took me like 32 hours. So yeah. I haven't calculated how much yarn I used for this yet, so I won't like verbally say it, but I'll probably put the info on the screen somewhere so that you guys can know how much yarn I used. But I absolutely, it's so like breathable too. It's such a nice like summer tee, honestly. And I really loved how simple it was. And I just really like the yarn too. Like, I think it was like a perfect combo, perfect match, you know, perfect yarn for the perfect tee. So yeah. Next thing I am working on the twisted loop top by Other Loops, I believe. And this is what I've got so far. I did not have the needles, the correct needle size. I believe the pattern calls for 2.5 US size needle, and I didn't have that. I had a 3. So that's what I used. So because of that, my shirt doesn't look like the other shirts that you'll see, because after the third like cable section, all the other shirts have like a lot more length left. I did not need that. This is long enough, especially because it's going to stretch after I block it. So the pattern says, like, I think knit for like until 20 inches. And so I've reached 20 inches after only a couple rows of doing the last third cable. So yeah, this is it. And this is the yarn from the TMC Clubhouse, which I love, I'm a part of. And when I saw this yarn, I was like, I have to support my friend. So I loved it. I was like, this is an excuse to buy some yarn, because this is like such pretty yarn and I have to support her. So so yeah, so it's such a cute, like a matcha kind of green, and I love the little specks. Like, it's so perfect. So let me see if I have, I think I don't have like the skein anymore, but this is like what it looks like. And let me see if I have like the little info card. Flowy fingering yarn. It's 100% superwash merino in oak, I guess is what you pronounce it. So yeah, it's very cute. I love the yarn. I love the yarn. I have 3 skeins of it. So I think so far I've used up one and then part of this ball, so not that much yarn. And I'm working on the collar right now. So here. So yeah, I am really happy with how this has turned out so far. I am a little bit unsure about the deep armhole, but we're gonna trust the process. And it'll be the first time that I'll be learning and doing the I-cord edge, because that's what the pattern calls for. It calls for an I-cord edge for the armholes. The collar is just a 1x1 rib. And yeah, so I am so far happy with how this is turning out. Love the yarn, love the color, love the pattern. I did have a little bit of trouble of understanding the way that the pattern is written for certain things. Like certain parts, I'm like, I had to like read it over and over again to be like, I'm unsure about this. But yeah, I also started with a provisional cast on. So that was, I had learned how to do a provisional cast on only because one of my mom's patterns that she was making required it, and so I had to like learn it so I could explain it to her. So I somewhat had an idea. I still had to watch a YouTube video to find out exactly how to do it. So I did do a provisional cast on to start with, and then there's a provisional cast on incorporated at the underarm part. But yeah, I am like, I'm enjoying the summer tops. I do prefer making sweaters because I like being like cozy, but I am enjoying, like, you know, I'm having fun practicing and like working on like summer tops. So yeah. And I think it's good because I can actually wear them here at the weather that I'm at. So yeah. All right. So that's what I'm currently working on. I have yarn to show you because I got some yarn, but I had ordered it at the beginning of this year and it finally arrived like maybe like a month ago, and I've been dying to show it to you. So I bought yarn from Pasley Knit from her Rewind collection, and obsessed. Obsessed, obsessed, obsessed. Love it, love it, love it. How beautiful is this yarn? Is this not the most, like, how can you look at this and not be immediately happy? Like, is this not gorgeous? This is her Hi Barbie in Krabby DK, and I obsessed. Do you see that pink? Do you see the orange? Are you looking at this? This is amazing. This is just like heaven. You look at this, I could stare at this all day. The serotonin and dopamine boost, like, wow, oh my gosh, amazing. This is her watermelon sugar. I used to hate the color pink. Honestly, I really did. I didn't want anything to do with pink when I was like a little kid. And then something happened and now I'm like pink and purple. So this is also Krabby DK. Okay, now I also have the same yarn in Are you look at this. This is Surrey DK. Do you see the chunkiness? Like, this is so soft. I wish there was a way for you guys to be able to like touch this virtually. Like, this is bliss. Like, Oh my gosh. Heaven, heaven. Ah! Ah! I think there was a trend going on YouTube for a little bit at the beginning of the year saying that like any like mohair and like suri and like knitting with 2 strands of yarn is like not gonna be a thing for like a trend or something. I can't imagine not like holding this. Like, I can't wait for the project that I'm gonna make with this. Okay, there is another yarn that I purchased from this collection that I am not so happy with, and it's because it doesn't look like the picture. So, the original reason why I discovered this collection, or like, wanted to buy yarn from this collection, was because of this specific yarn, and I'm kind of bummed out about it, to be honest. So, the yarn was this. This is the yarn. It was Mount Fuji. And while the yarn itself is very pretty, it doesn't look like the picture. The Instagram picture that I was basing this off of, it looked a lot more blue. So like the pinks were pinking. And then if you look at this, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but let's see if it focuses. Come on. Let's see if I can. Okay, so this is pink right here. Next to it, this grayish muted purple that you see looked more blue on the Instagram picture. So my original plan was to knit the stripe hype sweater in the like deep navy blue color, and then the like in one stripe, and then the other stripe be this. But I don't think it's gonna work because it just doesn't look like what I had in my mind based off of the pictures that I saw online. So now I don't know if it's because of the yarn base that I chose, which this is the Salty Aran yarn base. If I had picked a different yarn base, maybe it would come out more blue, but I'm not sure. And I'll never know now unless somebody posts a picture with their yarn that they made, with their project that they made with the yarn. So I'm kind of bummed out about this one. I was really, really excited for this one. But there's nothing I can do about it now. And I just have to accept and come to terms with it and be happy with, find another project for it. So, which is fine. I'm sure I can come up with something. So, yeah. So, the story behind the stripe hype sweater is I saw a True Lainey episode and she's wearing the stripe hype sweater and I immediately fell in love with the sweater. I was like, oh, this looks amazing. I want this sweater so bad. And so I found out what pattern it was, looked it up, and then because I've been like obsessed with stripes. Like ever since I made my brother's Christmas sweater, I have been dying to have a striped sweater. So when I saw that sweater, I immediately was like, okay, I'm gonna make this sweater. The funny thing is that she watched another YouTuber and how they made their stripe hype sweater, and she became obsessed with her stripe hype sweater, and I just love that. I love that it's like a cycle. Like now maybe I'll make a stripe hype sweater and somebody will see it and then be like, oh my gosh, I need to make that sweater. And so like we're all just inspired by everybody else's stripe hype sweater. So I wanted to make it in that like a deep blue, navy blue, and then with that other yarn. I don't think that's gonna happen anymore. So the debate now is the deep blue color and then this color and have like a blue and pink stripe sweater, or this combo and have it pink and like orange and pink, which I think would be really, really fun. So I am gonna make a swatch and I'm gonna see what I like better, and then also probably ask you guys for your opinion on what you like is better. But I just think this would be fun. I just don't know if that's the exact vibe that I had in my head for my stripe hype sweater. So, but aren't these just perfect? Literally, like, this is it's so pretty. I don't think I ever thought that I would be obsessed with the combination of orange and pink. Who knew? Not me. That's for sure. Not me. But here I am. I can stare at this all day long. This is like, this brings me so much joy. Like, absolute joy, just like staring at this. Like, this is just like magnificent. Like, this is such an art. Like, the fact that somebody made this with their hands, like they literally thought this in their mind and they were like, this combo. And now I get to appreciate this with like, so, like, I have so much appreciation. I'm obsessed, obsessed, obsessed. Like, in awe of this. And like, it's just like an art. It's just, I am staring at a masterpiece, honestly. It's like somebody thought this. I'm going on a tangent, but I can't, I have to express this. Like, this is how I feel like whenever I look at something and I'm just like, this is amazing. This is amazing. I'm so glad I live in a world where this was created. Really. So, yeah. Okay. And this too, like seriously, this is so soft. It's so chunky. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I'm gonna make with this. I don't know what project I'm gonna use this with. I am not sure, but I know I'm gonna use it and I know I'm gonna love it, and it's gonna be absolutely amazing. It's just great. I'm so happy I discovered this. Like, I was brought back to the knitting world, and I'm so glad my mom taught me, and I'm so happy that I have this in my life. Pure absolute joy. Okay. Enough about that. You're probably like, what? Okay. All right. So, I think that is all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that it wasn't too rough to like listen to and like listen to my tangent or anything. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye!